Since my last absolutely intense meeting with the doctor, the Carol Master 69, I was able to be granted access to his little helpers to talk to them and ask some questions about this mysterious, almost plague-infected man. And is it funny that they are calling me Master? Maybe they should call me Ella instead, but let's just say I didn't think my name through when I made it. Does this mean we are technically raiding Entercon's home? Maybe. Enough yapping, let's get to question asking. I would like to ask about the true nature of the relationship between you and Entercon. You said you were from an organization? Oh, Entercon. Guys, he kind of sounds disappointed. Am I cooked? Maybe I should have asked if he was okay. But I was low-key too excited, so maybe I forgot my manners. Well, more about you. Nice save, Ella. Nice save. I don't want to work with Corn. He forces me to. He isn't the only one in his hive mind. What do you mean by that? I didn't do what he said one time, and he said an infected to my house. And infected? What in the zombie apocalypse is going on? My home was a mess after. Okay, so they don't live in the clinic. So maybe for the future updates, we can see Fire's home. I low-key thought they were like live-in nannies. I had to hide for the whole goddamn night. Are you human? No, but we do mimic humans in a way. Can I ask what you are? And the Corvus too. Fire and I are different. I'm a Pyrogon. A Pyrogon is an artificially made Pokemon. It has the ability to convert its body into digital data. So basically, they can dematerialize and waddle into places that are maybe more in the subconscious, maybe more data related. And you know what game that the Dr. Entercon has that may symbolize his subconsciousness? Boom! The dinner party. That's right! This means that Fire might be integral to finding out and researching who the Sigma Entercon is by dematerializing his physical form. I'd rather not tell you what I am, but I'm a failure compared to the rest of my race. We have the ability to mimic other creatures when we are young, but we cannot do it when we are adults. Since Fire is a Paragon, also known as a Pokemon, we can try to infer on what the hell Corvus is. She has a protruding, spiky spine with a black, demon tail. I don't really know if there's any Pokemon that looks like that. But maybe she's like a demon because of her black tail. I don't really know right now, so I need to use your powers to figure out what is Corvus. Do you know about the unknown person and the lady tea party thing? Ali? Yeah, she's a good friend of ours. I just wanted to make sure that she isn't connected to this myth. Answer is she isn't, and they are probably just like guest characters. And who is Mavis? Guys, it's kind of getting awkward here. Who told you about Mavis? A bird? I'm actually kidding, it's Fever. But I can't be telling her this because Fever is supposed to be at home and very safe. But I think Mavis is Corvus's partner. Answer their question. Shut up, Fire. Mavis is a friend. Nothing more. Nothing more. I will skin you. Fever? What are you doing here? Hi. It's really cool that Corvus's daughter's name is Fever. Also is like a disease that we all get sometimes. And Entercon is a doctor that fixes illness. Let's just say Fever has a lot of death flags lying around. Fever, you know you can't come to the clinic when we are working. Just go. Okay. Sorry about that. Con doesn't like her here. She's always curious, and we don't want Con finding her here. So, are you a part of another organization? Yes, I was made to investigate places they couldn't. Made to? Like artificially made? Places they couldn't? Like maybe enter Con's hive mind? I also have to take care of a few others. And why is Corvius blind? Cause remember last time I had a theory that Entercom made Corvus blind because she saw something that she shouldn't? I'm just trying to confirm or deny these suspicions because it would be huge. I found out the thing controlling Con was an experiment. That's a little off topic and random. Dear Corvus, stop calling me out like this. I'm just a little bit curious, okay? Like I care about you, like I've been thinking about you, dog. So a bunch of things are controlling Con. And to Corvius, sorry, I'm just worried. Nice save, past Ella, nice save. I've been thinking about you. Varol, get this Rizzler out of here. Well, it's more or so only one being. Huh, weird. Well, to answer that, I was always blind. Oh, it escaped years ago, and I was sent out here to look for it. I didn't find it though, I only found Con. So basically, Con was sick, then he tried to fix himself, but then a being escaped and possessed him. And also, Corvus left the game very suddenly after my blind question. So maybe I scared her a little bit. Yes, pretty much. I have yet to find it, so you can't do much. Well, my friend and I want to help. So I guess right now it's in the woodworks. We just have to wait for new updates. Well, there's only so much you can do. What about Con's other game, the POV? Is that his inner hive mind thing? Dear other myth hunters who might be watching this, yeah, I'm a pretty direct person. Yeah, I don't really think when I type or talk to these myths, I just kind of go straight up. Do you know what this means? Does it get pretty awkward sometimes? Maybe, but I can always get some answer out of them if I'm direct enough. The dinner party? Yeah, maybe it got mixed up a little bit. I don't understand what you mean. I don't think I've been there. The dinner party? Con hides lots of things from us. Boom, 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 boom. Confirmed. They don't really know what is the dinner party. That means they probably can't access it canonically. So why is Fever in danger? So now Fever secretly joined the game and is eavesdropping on our conversation behind the trees. Totally not scary, and maybe I asked this question on purpose so that Fever could figure out what the Sigma is going on. She's not in danger. She's perfectly fine. Con says she is important. Important for what? Important for what? Oh, na. Oh, when did it appear behind me? Speak of the literal devil? Well, this is certainly strange. Of course it is, dog. You just saw two randos showing up to your house and chit-chatting. Wasn't expecting the tea party would end so soon. I wasn't expecting to come back to this. I left early. Oh, na. Expect the unexpected. Then the unexpected becomes the expected and vice versa. Hello. It was fine. I showed up too late to understand what was going on. Con left after roasting us a lot, and I could feel like we were about to get kicked out of his house soon, so I just wanted to ask a couple of extra questions. Before we leave, why is Fever imperfect? She is not imperfect! Don't believe in Con's lies. Con thinks that everyone should have no flaws. He hates me for it. For the flaw? Are we talking about some Shakespearean tragedy protagonist and their fatal flaw. Does fire have one of these? Anyways, since I've kept on yapping about Khan's subconsciousness and the dinner party, it is time for me to show you the actual game and why I think it is his subconsciousness hive mind thing. You walk in and there are so many of these little white windows, which I assume would be symbols of different consciousnesses. Because there is a pretty famous quote combining windows to little gasps of consciousnesses from the famous book about brain power and stuff called The Dawn of Everything. And since Fire says that Enter Khan's brain is a hive mind, it kind of also refers to the connectivity of the brain and how there's a bunch of little trails in our brain that send out waves, and then the waves transform into like a whole experience. Kind of how Enter Khan's brain kind of has this really big, round, tall thing that kind of overlooks the rest of this little windows with like eyeballs, you know, like an overseer, or like observing all the different consciousnesses. I don't really know because there isn't enough information right now. And I'm checking here if the eyes stare at you when you move, which I can't really see. But you see this window, you can actually go through it. Let me jump into it. And then we come to this like deep black plane of like nothing, and these are all the people that Enter Khan, you know, like the main original guy who is sick, killed. And then this little guy is probably the fifth body that is in the shed. And then there's like the piano thing. No one knows, but you did it. You can't seem to remember, can you? Nothing here is right, only they are. Maybe it's talking about Enter Khan, you know, the actual doctor's deep, dark guilt about killing these people and trying to get their fragmented souls to eventually complete himself. Well, more like the thing that is controlling him, but maybe there's still a little bit of the doctor left. But yeah, that's what I think, that this window is actually the original doctor's consciousness. Now we go to the dinner table and there is a face on a freaking plate that's half melted. What the sigma? Well, this is actually Enter Khan's face because if we look at his avatar outside of the game, you can see the same face. But of course, we still don't know what the hell this face on a platter is. Well, this actually reminds me of a famous biblical story called John the Baptist. So John the Baptist was a prophet who preached about the importance of Jesus' coming. He criticized King Herod for marrying his brother's wife, Herodias, calling it sinful, but Herodias hated John for this and wanted him dead. At the feast, Herod's stepdaughter Simone danced for him. Pleased, Herod promised to give her anything she wanted. At her mother's urging, Simone asked for John the Baptist's head on a platter. Though Herod didn't want to kill John, he kept his promise, and so John was beheaded in prison. His head was brought on a plate and given to Simone, who gave it to her mother. Although it doesn't completely mirror Enter Khan's story, this is one of the most famous examples of the symbol head on a platter, so that's why I talked about it. But symbolically, it might hold some weight, as in many traditions, especially in Christianity, serving something on a dish resembles an offering to a higher power, which correlates with the fact that Enter Khan, the doctor, decided to try to heal himself against a virus, but then he got taken over by this hive mind guy, which is definitely not human and definitely a higher power. John's head on a platter can be seen as an unwilling sacrifice, a gift of flesh and voice, and I think Enter Khan definitely did not want to lose partial control of his mind and body. John's head was displayed on the platter, a public humiliation and death. Just like how Enter Khan's face is displayed on the dinner table with thousands of other subconsciousness looking down on him, laughing at him for maybe falling into their trap. So what happens next? Fever asked if we could meet up, and I obviously accepted because this myth is making me go insane. We have like virus, zombie apocalypse, lore, stuff, IDK. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will be back with a fever breakdown. Lucky. And I think that maybe we should all save each other and live happily ever after.